Hi, guys. Welcome back.
Hi, everyone.
Yellow.
This is episode 2 of our newest season, and we're continuing with the theme of hope and healing and how it's not linear. Like, it doesn't always look good. We don't always look perfect. We sometimes are doing so well, and everything seems like it's working and coming together. And then other times, not so much.
I struggle with this big time because, I just feel like sometimes, if you're in the process of healing something, like if something happened in your life or whatever, I feel like I definitely, if I have maybe like a revelation of something that has happened, or maybe I understand, or I feel like in the moment that I understand how I'm healing. I feel like it's like over. Like, oh my God, good, it's over. I figured it out and it's over. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then maybe like a day later, like something else will pop up, or even like a week later or a month later. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I was done with this. Like, why are we still here? I'm so annoyed.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like, well, quite literally, healing is kind of like a scab. And of course, sometimes I feel like, obviously, the scab stops the bleeding or whatever, and it's the first sign of healing. But if something picks at the scab too early and it comes off, you'll start bleeding.
Wow. I feel like this is also relevant to just like every person, not like no matter where you are, no matter how much you think you've arrived at something, or, I'm doing so well, I'm not struggling as much anymore. We behave and we react to certain situations that maybe bring out parts of us that are maybe wounded and we haven't dealt with, or we have dealt with it, but we get activated. It's like, I think it's a popular thing today to say, I was triggered. And I think we all will sometimes still get triggered by certain things. I think the illusion is that you had to have experienced something horrible in your life to get triggered. But that's just not true. Like, we all have different experiences of getting triggered. Like if I spill something, sometimes it might remind me of like a mistake I made when I was little, and I got in trouble for it because I made a huge mess and my family was busy. My mom had so much going on with all of us, and like now I'm a distraction. And then, so like when things like that happen today, sometimes I'm just that 4-year-old who like spills things, and then that's what I'm like, oh, you're just a mess. And now I'm not a person who just made a mistake. Now I'm actually calling myself like a mess.
Wow, the word trigger, that really got me, because we use that word so often now, and like in such a way that's like, oh, I'm so triggered. Like,
Yeah,
no offense to people that like use it, but it almost can sound a little annoying and like, oh my God, like get over yourself already. Like you're so triggered. But I think the gentleness, and you and I have done like a lot of healing work together, whether it be for me specifically or us together or just learning or other people. I think the gentleness of maybe what we have always said instead of the word trigger is, it's like, well, what does that remind you of?
Yeah.
And I think we all have that stored emotion or that stored memory that makes us react in that way, like the girl who spilled the milk, like you just said. And I think when you ask somebody in such a way that's like, well, does that remind you of something from your past or whatever? It's like a little bit easier to share a memory rather than being like, I'm triggered, or what, why are you triggered? Like it's just like gentler. I don't know.
I mean, I can actually think of a story right now. Something that I think has been said to me is like, oh, you're late. Like, you're always late. And I'm like, I'm not always late. Like, I'm actually pretty much on time for things. But sometimes people are like, oh, you're, shocker, Janine's not on time or something. And
it's just shocking to me because you're never late. Like,
I try really hard not to be late. I think that's why. But the other morning I had a responsibility to take someone to a doctor appointment, and I got a brand new coffee pot for my birthday. So I was like so excited for my new coffee pot. I'm going to work this thing. I like turn it on. I'm assuming it's making my coffee. And I'm like 10 minutes out from having to leave the house. And then I look over at the coffee pot and I'm like, it didn't make my coffee. It still looks the same. But then the coffee pot is 2 parts. It's part carafe, part like regular Keurig for a single serve. it decided it was just going to make single cups. But it was like the coffee was everywhere. There was like coffee everywhere. And I was like, but not in like where I needed it to be. So now I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I cannot go to this appointment without my coffee. I need to have my coffee. And now I'm like getting angry. I'm like, why do I have a new coffee pot? My old one worked just fine. So then I try again. And now my coffee's overflowing everywhere. Now I'm cleaning the kitchen from the coffee that's everywhere. I finally get a cup that's like actually doable, but I pick it up and it like was, I guess, so hot that it spilled over the side of the cup and onto my hands, and now I burned myself. Eventually I did get a cup of coffee, and then I went to shake my half and half to put that in, and that also exploded. And I was like sweating it. I'm like, now I'm going to be late. I was supposed to be at the person's house by 7:40 to pick them up to get to the doctor appointment, and it was 7:36, and I was a raging lunatic. I was like, now I'm going to be late. And, you know, it's like just these thoughts of like, I failed, you know? I mean, we got there on time. We were not late for the appointment. None of that was actually real. But like the frustration and the stress of like not doing what I was supposed to do or being on time, you know? And I'm, like you said, I'm really not late for things. But I guess this must be something that was said to me enough times that it like created some type of a wound almost of like, you know, you are late, even if it's not true.
Yeah, I think the word failure is important to talk about because I think that failure or a mistake is so much bigger than it actually is. And then we get caught up in that I have to be perfect or I don't want to let anybody down. For me, like recently, I don't like to say no. I think like if someone asks me to do something, you know, it's like, well, I can't, but I don't really like saying no because how are they going to respond if I say no? Are they going to be mad at me? Like, this is like it's like a silly story. It actually just happened yesterday, but we had changed our prayer meeting day from Friday to Monday, and which frees up like hangout time. Like, let's be real, Friday nights, like, you know, my cousins like to get together every once in a while, and they were like, I was like, oh, I'm free Fridays now. Like, it's going to be so much easier for us to make plans. And then they like threw out like 3 Fridays, and I was like, I can't do any of them. And like, here I am just saying like, I'm free on Fridays now. Like, we could do it. And then I'm like, no. And I'm like, they're going to hate me. I just said that I was free on Fridays, and then they threw out these dates, and I'm like, sorry, can't. Like, but it's like, what does that no mean? You know? And it's, I don't even think I don't even think the thought even like sometimes crosses people's minds of what we actually think that they think about us.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. That's so true. The idea of saying no to people,
It's hard.
is such a hard thing to do. It's like we want to people please, and it is such a trap.
And it's almost like now that we said no, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Is that the saying?
Yeah.
We're waiting for the anger. We're waiting for them to be angry with us.
Yeah. Or to just make some sort of judgment about us, you know. It's like, I think even if it's like to help somebody or do something, like, can you take me to a doctor's appointment, or can you babysit for me? Like, whatever. It's like, those are even harder because someone's asking you, they need you for something. And if you can't, then it's like, I'm sorry, but I just can't, you know? But
And then you feel like you're letting them down.
you feel like you're letting them down, you know? Some sort of failure as a mom, friend, sister, whatever.
I think that saying no is brave. And maybe sometimes the result is that they're mad at you. Maybe the result is like sometimes they're like disappointed. But I think sometimes for like health purposes, for your own sanity, for your own ability to like have more freedom for yourself, I think sometimes no is really, really important. And sometimes yes is really, really important. I think it's just a matter of what you're going to say no to and what you're going to say yes to, and opening the door to whatever your decision is without putting that pressure of perfectionism on yourself.
Yeah, I feel like like, isn't that a scripture? Like, let your yes be yes and your no be no. You know, I think those are really important words and boundaries that we need to learn to use and accept and like really like discern out, you know, if it feels right, then yes. If it feels wrong, then no. If you can, then yes. If you can't, then no. It's like, it's really hard to do. And it seems simple because it seems like simple situations, but it's not something that we can easily do and get really caught up in our own minds about it.
And that we're disappointing people. Like even Yvette, she was supposed to be able to record with us today. And then she had a really, really busy day. And it was like, she was exhausted. And she was like, girls, I'm like so tired. Like, I don't feel like I can record. I feel like I'm exhausted. And we were like, okay, don't record. It's fine, you know, and we'll just catch up next time. But she messaged like so many times because there's always that fear of like, do you mean it? Like, do you mean that you're not mad at me?
Yeah.
Or is there like a secret hidden disappointment that I'm missing?
And it's almost like you got to prove yourself. You got to prove your reasoning for being absent.
Oh my gosh. Or do you ever then you have to make up for it? Like, it's like someone asks you to do something and then you're like, well, I can't, but I can do this and I can do this and I could do this day or I could do this for you. Or like, and then you try and like make up for it because you're like, please don't be mad at me. And it's like, there's something deeper than please don't be mad at me. Please don't leave me. Please don't reject me. Please don't, you know, like, I feel like there's like layers to that. Just like, not just please don't be mad at me.
I think there's an expectation that they are mad at you because of those parts of us from when we were younger that maybe felt, whether it's true or not, there was definitely a feeling of like, my mom's mad at me or my dad's mad at me or my best friend from when I was in second grade got mad at me. Like whatever that was definitely shows itself in our like today's in the way that we handle things. It's just true. And we sometimes create stories or narratives in our mind of what they're thinking, even though like 9 times out of 10, it's not true. The screw tape letters, I know we've probably talked about them before from C.S. Lewis. He mentions how deceptive thoughts could be because in the spiritual realm, there are like angelic thoughts, like good angels and bad angels that could give thoughts to people and create like scenarios and stories. And our minds love a good story. So like if you are, they said that one of the major ways that people sometimes get tempted to fall into division with other people or just like have strife among family members is like, if a person that you're close to makes a specific face, you associate that face with something that you believe, like, oh, I know what they're thinking. They're angry at me right now. And like, supposedly that's like the devil's playground. Like that's the area where the dark angels like to mess with us and cause like problems. And, you know, they're like, and 9 times out of 10, the person wasn't thinking of that at all. But we believe that they're thinking of that. And then we react in kind to how we believe that they're reacting. And all of a sudden there is this like, well, they can't stand me right now. So guess what? I can't stand them back. But meanwhile, it's like, I don't know. We don't know that. I know I do it to my mom. I'll be like, look at her face. Look how she's looking at me right now. And I'm like assuming that she's like angry about something. And maybe she is, but maybe she's not. Maybe I'm just making all kinds of assumptions based on that. But then my reaction is just fantastic because then I become an absolute psycho and I start making judgments about her. But nobody said a word. I think that's like so fascinating how we fall into those traps. Like it's almost like the trap of comparison. It's all starting, I think, on the thoughts. It starts with thoughts and we just move with those thoughts.
I mean, it's almost like thoughts should just be passing. Like, don't dwell on one thought too long.
Wow.
Thoughts and emotions too, I think, right? Like, because our emotions are fleeting, just like our thoughts can be fleeting.
But I feel like you should also attend to every thought and every emotion. Look at it, understand it, see it, and then let it go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That was actually my confession last week.
Wow.
That was what the priest had said to me. I was like, you know, confessing like probably anger, bitterness, resentment, you know, all those things. and he did. He said, like, he like looked at me and he was like, that's not like the sin. He was like, that's the emotion. And like, let it go. Like, know it's there, acknowledge it's there. He's like, it's what you do, like kind of what you just said, like my reaction. It's my reaction could cause me to do harm, but my feeling is my feeling, and my emotion or my thought is my thought. But, you know, and it's remembering like where they came from. Like, did that thought, is that my thought? Is that, I know we say like 100 times on here, like, is it accusation? Is it, you know, all of those ways that we can like recognize our thoughts. I think somebody once said too, like, if you wouldn't say it out loud to a friend, like you shouldn't be even saying it to yourself, you know? So it's like recognizing them, but then it's like watching them go and knowing like it's gonna be okay, you know? Even to go to the extreme of like, if they are mad at me, if we do get into a giant fight, if they do leave me and never come back, like, it's gonna be okay, you know? That's to me where the healing and hope can, like, the thread of that comes in, is like, if we've made it this far, you know, in our lives, I've gotten through this and this and this, and not to say that we don't carry our wounds or we don't face little traumas or big traumas as we go on. It just, that's like remembering that you do make it through, and you will make it through, and it will be okay.
I almost feel like recently I just started driving, and you know what they tell us to do is always keep a peripheral of everything, just to make sure that, you know, if you see something flying by, you could figure out a way to escape it or maneuver out of the way. And it's like, but yeah, you passed the obstacle already, you can let it go now. Just forget about it. You're on your road, keep looking in front of you. Don't look, well, obviously look behind you when you're driving, you know, if you're reversing or anything. But if you're like, you know, just living your life and you already got through one obstacle or you already attended to one emotion or thought, don't turn back and pull it back towards you.
Wow. Because sometimes when you pull it back towards you, it becomes like a trap and like almost like a snare.
And then a collision, like a car crash.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like it's like the balance. Like, I recognize my thought. I recognize my feeling. I recognize what's coming up, whether I thought it was healed or it never came up in my healing again before. It's not like ignoring it completely, because then it just stays. It's not obsessing over it and getting stuck there. It's just like that balance.
Tending to it.
Yeah, tending to it.
And I feel like, going back to a car analogy, it's almost like if you see a crash or like a police officer pull someone over and suddenly everyone starts to slow down. Now it's like, now that you're dwelling on that one thing and you're focused on that one thing, everyone's crashing into each other now.
No one can move.
Yes. Traffic. I hate traffic.
Now that you drive.
Yeah.
But that is something that is so real. It's like that when you get so obsessed with it, and then everyone gets obsessed with it, and then everyone's looking in that direction instead of looking forward. It could be like an accident waiting to happen, or like some type of no pun intended, or like a trap. I also like what you said about, like, okay, so worst case scenario, the person gets upset with you and leaves and never comes back. And like, okay, well, if it was like something that they perceive to be such a horrible offense and they feel like they can't come back into your life, then maybe they're not meant to be in your life anyways for the time being. I mean, it's like one of those things. We're reading that friendship book with Abiding Together. And one of the things that they say is sometimes like letting people go is the best thing you can do for them. Because when you let them go and they're free to go, if they return, they return. If they don't return, that's okay.
It's almost like, actually, I don't know who said it. It was either Father Mike or Chris Stefanik. One of them said it, but it was something about like a story about driving yet again. And it's driving down the road and you see a patch of flowers and you're like, those are some beautiful flowers. And you look at them and you admire them and they're great. But then you pass them by. You keep going. You don't stop on the side of the road or slow down and let people crash into you just because you want to stay at that one spot. No, you keep going, and then eventually, again, you might see something like that. You might see the same flower patch again, or you might see something even more beautiful. You don't know.
So just don't get stuck. Like, keep going. Like, even
don't slow down.
Yeah. It's like the God of more. You know, if we believe that we can live in just the joy and the happiness and the gorgeous flowers all the time. That's not reality. And then so the flowers die and the seasons change or we move on. But then there's like more next time, because there's always going to be a next time. You know, if we're, I mean, I feel like either way, there's always going to be a next time. I think it's how you are in the like in between, you know, like how do you react in the in between? Are you grieving the flowers you just passed for so long that like you're not even present anymore in what's happening now? You know, I know we talk about the seasons change so often. And I was listening to a podcast today from Father Carlos Martins on the Exorcist Files. And he kind of basically was like saying that, like, first of all, it was the Exorcist Files. So I was expecting all these like really interesting conversations. And these people were writing about like marriage and relationship advice and job advice. And I have to fire somebody. And I was like, they're talking to like this exorcist about firing somebody? Like, but it was so fascinating because it's like, you just got to hear like his perspective as just like a human being and not whatever. That was like a side conversation. Anyway, but he was basically saying that he was like, you know, yeah, when you're 5 years old and you meet your best friend and you imagine life is going to be forever with them. And then they just like, sometimes you grow apart and then sometimes you grow closer together and sometimes they come back. And he was like, no matter what, like that's okay. And I think that's something that we like get so afraid of, is that we hold on to things so tight. People, gorgeous flowers, a vacation. Like, do you ever like on vacation, you're like, I never want this vacation to end. It's like, well, why? It's so special because it does end. And it does begin again, and you go somewhere else next time. It's like just being comfortable in the now and flowing fluidly through life.
Keep driving at the same speed.
It reminds me of, it was like Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas or Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. They used to watch those when they were little.
The duck.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Oh my
and
God.
there's one part of one of them, I don't know which one it is, where Huey, Dewey, and Louie are causing all kinds of trouble on Christmas, but they are so excited because it is Christmas and they are going to have the time of their lives, like no matter what. And they do. They have the best day ever. I mean, they tortured everybody in their path, but they had a blast. But they made a wish at the end of the day, and their wish was that Christmas could be every day. And they got their wish. And every day they woke up and it was Christmas Day again. And it was like, at first they were like, yes, we are living the life. Like it is Christmas again. And it was like, the next day was Christmas again. And the next day was Christmas again. And like all of a sudden they started looking like, when is this going to end? Like they looked miserable. And it was like, they lost all of the joy of Christmas because they just never had the surprise of it. It was all the same every single day. So now it was no longer special. And it was so cute watching them learn their lesson.
I love that one so much. And like, I can't help but go back to healing, you know, like they had this greed about, I mean, they're whatever ducks.
They're Huey, Dewey, and Louie. They're amazing.
It's like that, but they had this like greed about them, and they had this inconsideration of other people. I can't believe we're talking about this. And but through that, like there was healing, because by the time the last Christmas day that they repeated, like then they were, you know, loving their aunt a little bit more, and they were helping, and they were clearing the table, and like I feel like they donated something. I don't remember, but like through that like attachment to like the joy, they did eventually heal and learn.
I mean, it's a sickness. You can't heal a sickness if you don't even know what it is. Like if you need antibiotics for it, you need sometimes a specific one.
The diagnosis. But yeah, no, I loved that, because I feel like it was just such a good lesson in like too much of anything is sometimes just too much. Like it's too much. You need to set a boundary. Because
I mean, I feel like we kind of think like the average day is just always the same, but it really isn't. Every day is unique.
Yeah, there's a prayer I do every morning on the Hallow app, and it's Jonathan Rumi. I think it might actually be called the morning prayer. And he says, like, I give every joy, every sorrow, everything to you today, you know? And it's like, because every day is that. And I think we are that as well as human beings. We are part joy and part sadness and part struggle and part whatever. And I think looking at us as not being Christmas Day, but every day of the year, just shows you that each day can bring new healing, new hope, new joy, and like a new discovery of yourself as you go through it, if you're open to it, if you're not packing away all your fears and your control away somewhere, if you're allowing them to flow, like how you were saying, like as thoughts, as emotions, and attuning to them and paying attention to them and not being afraid of them.
Yeah.
That's where the healing can happen.
Flow like the river water.
I think people are sometimes so afraid of being scared, afraid of being scared, afraid of feeling stuck, afraid of, you know, being in a bad spot and thinking that like it's never going to get better. And I think sometimes when we just reach out to that part of ourselves that feels like we're stuck or feels like it's never going to get better, and just say, hey, like it's okay to feel like that. Like it's okay to feel like you just want this to end and be better tomorrow. Like accept yourself for where you are, and maybe ask those questions of your own self. Like, okay, what part of my inner child, what part is surfacing here? Like what part of me needs to be tended to? And then look forward to maybe like some type of a new beginning and acceptance, self-acceptance and self-love. Because that's what we want. We want to be loved and we want to be accepted by ourselves, by our friends and our family. And we want to be accepted by God. And I think too many times in this world, because maybe we haven't been accepted and loved by other people, we don't think God could love us. But I just want to say, like, one of the things I've learned so much this summer and things I've read and just listened to is just that reminder that God doesn't love like how we do. And his love doesn't stop. His love doesn't stop if you made a mistake. His love doesn't stop if you made a bad choice. His love doesn't stop if you're completely perfect. He loves us like as we are and just doesn't want us to be stuck in the lie that we're unlovable. We're all so loved. I think that's like what I'm feeling. Like God wants us to be loved.
Amen. I think that's a good wrap up.
Any tiny miracles?
My tiny miracle is, so as you guys know, we have taken up a significant break, something we have never done before. But in that break, we've been hosting fire nights, which there's like information available about them. But I guess the point of fire night is to bring people together.
Yeah.
In praise and worship and prayer. And my tiny miracle is the opportunity to meet so many different people around us on Long Island, in different churches and different parishes, different ages, different walks of life. And like just getting in front of a stranger and giving a simple invitation has just been such an eye-opening experience. And all of those people are my tiny miracles.
I love those people too. I feel like I want to say something on them, and maybe they're my tiny miracle too. I feel like we have a question that we ask a lot at our prayer meeting, and just in the way that we run Fire Night is like, what can we pray for you for? Mm-hmm. And I find that people are so open and receptive to like wanting to be prayed for. Like, I want you to pray for, you know, my family member who's hurting. I want you to pray for my family member who might have cancer. I want you to pray for me who has cancer. I want you to pray for my anxiety that won't stop, you know, and I want you to pray for my knee that's been hurting. Like these little tiny different prayers that these people are so brave to bring into that moment. And I just want to say, like, that has been a gift to me to be able to pray with and for and over all these different people, and just remember the power of prayer. Like that's been a tiny miracle for me also, because the Fire Nights have really showed us the bravery of people to just say, yeah, I want to be prayed for. And it's not intrusive. It's not like, I don't feel like it's intrusive. I feel like it's so welcoming.
Yeah, it's been an inspiration for sure.
I'd say mine's, I guess, got to do kind of with the prayer meeting and Fire Night. It's the joy that comes from it, from the praising. It's just there's just so much joy and you can't help but smile at that. And that's kind of like, that's my tiny miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to just add, my sister Christine's been coming to the prayer meeting, and she's been like, it's just been really cool seeing her there. And like, she's been like a bit of a tiny miracle for me too. So Christine, shout out to you.
We love you, Christine.
Love you, Aunt Christine.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with another new episode. And yeah.
See you later.
See you in a while, crocodile. I can't come up with a new one. I'll be back next week with a new one.
For some reason, I was hearing bye-bye butterflies.
Bye-bye, butterfly. I feel like I've done that too, though.
Or
Fireflies or dragonflies.
Oh, I think it was fireflies. Bye-bye, fireflies. Whatever. We'll leave it at crocodile in the next week. You can do your research.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.